fiery stream issuing came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, the books were opened.
I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Psalm 110. The Lord said unto my Lord, Sit thou at my right hand, until I make thine enemies thy footstool. The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power. In the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. The Lord hath sworn, and will not repent. Thou art a priest forever after the order of Melchizedek. The Lord at thy right hand shall strike through kings in the day of his wrath. He shall judge among the heathen. He shall fill the places with the dead bodies. He shall rule the heads over many countries. He shall drink of the brook in the way. Therefore shall he lift up the head.
Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, who real well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing this word of truth. And in sincerity across the four winds, in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashim Al Shah. Alright, and what I want to get into today, continue on in the book of Romans. Alright, we made it to the 14th chapter, and Apostle Paul, he's pretty much going into the etiquette that we should have amongst each other as believers, okay, and being fully persuaded in Yahweh Shai, and we don't want to have a spirit, of being overcritical of one another in this faith, because we all have different spirits, we all have different backgrounds, okay, upbringings, okay. Certain brothers, you're not going to agree, with the way they do things, but it worked for them. You probably wouldn't do it like that, okay, but it worked for them, and that's one thing that we have to understand in the truth, that it's not about, the minuscule, differences between the personalities, but it's about that common faith in Yahweh Shai. And as long as, we're all growing, okay, those, personality differences, okay, really don't matter, So I want to go here to the book of Romans, alright, chapter 14, verse 1. It says, accept other believers who are weak in faith and don't argue with them about what they think is right or wrong, because you have those, alright, you have believers. Everyone doesn't have the same faith, everyone doesn't have the same portion of understanding, okay, and there's going to be a difference, and there's going to be things that, the way, we believe when it comes to certain things as for, the NFL being rigged, okay, NBA, whether they got a magnet in the basketball or not, all right, is this certain rapper, is he really dead or they fake it? Like those are things, it's gonna be different opinions on. But there's nothing worth to argue over to the point, where you fall out. And you have believers coming in, they haven't matured, to seeing particular things yet. Okay? So you don't wanna, have a constant, argument about particular things that they haven't matured in the understanding. And it says, for instance, verse 2, for instance, one person believe it's all right to eat anything. When it says anything, okay, because a Christian will take that, okay, I think it's talking about snails and lobsters and you see crawfish. No, it's talking about anything lawful, okay. But another believer with a sensitive conscience will eat only vegetables, man, okay, because you have to understand the meat that was at the marketplaces, okay, was the leftover meat from what they would sacrifice, all right, to the gods. If you was in, okay, current, this is why they had, this discussion in current, all right, in the book of Corinthians. I believe it's 1 Corinthians 8 chapter maybe. And they were talking about, foods offered unto idols, because these foods would be, the leftover from the sacrifices that was made unto idols. And that would be the only meat in the market. So you had certain believers, as they repented from idolatry, they wouldn't eat the meat. Okay? They would eat vegetables only. And you had some believers that still ate the meat. Okay? So the Apostle Paul, he's expounding on, look, don't make no argument about that matter. Okay? And he's going to expound on it. But this is the argument that he's addressing in the 14th chapter. Even today, as you have some brothers, that are plant-based, don't eat meat. Some brothers that do. Okay? But that has nothing to do, with faith in Yahushua. Okay? Because all of it is lawful, and there's no way to get around food offered unto idols. That's why we pray over it. Anything we eat. Okay? But going to verse 3, it says, those who feel free to eat anything must not look down on those who don't eat. Certain foods must not condemn. All right? It says, so like it says, those who feel free to eat anything must not look down on those who don't. And those who don't eat certain food must not condemn those who do, for the Most High has accepted them. Yeah, man. And as we mature, of course, we want to eat the best of the worst, especially in these times, because the foods wasn't so, chemically defiled like they are now. In this society, it was just a thing of, they understood that these were the leftovers from, these sacrifices to idols. But as we, maneuver in this time, we understand, that this food is, a lot of it straight poison, man. Especially in America, where they have foods and chemicals, okay, in America that are banned, okay, in other countries, man. So we're in the belly of the beast. Okay, and just because a brother has a particular diet, he probably has a more stricter, cleaner diet, he shouldn't look down on the brother who doesn't, eat, as clean as him or healthy as him. Okay, or the brother that doesn't eat that healthy, he shouldn't look at the brother that does eat healthy a certain way. At the end of the day, we push, health, especially a brother having weight issues and certain things, and physical ailments due to a poor diet. Okay, we don't want to use Ezekiel 4, our bread will be defiled amongst the Gentiles, just to have a trash diet. Okay, but by default, hey, some brothers, all right, ain't gonna have, the same. Every brother's not gonna have the same diet. All right, they're not gonna eat the same. Okay, and you don't want to be a brother that's overcritical, just Jake, Jake might have some chicken strips from the gas station. And, you over there trying to analyze and tell him what's in it while he eating it, and like calm down, okay? Or you come to the event, brothers having, and you asking what's in this, what's in that, what this made out of, what's, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to break it down, break down the foods, you gotta chill, bro. Chill. You see? We do the best we can when it comes to that, all right? But you can get over righteous to the point where you destroy yourself. And the scriptures speak on that in Ecclesiastes chapter 7, because it's all a balance, man. You don't want to be that brother you at the, the cookout of the event, and there ain't nothing there good enough for you. Ain't nothing there to your standards based on how you eat. It's like, God damn. This is certain things that you just can't, as you level up in how you eat. Certain things, that you just can't go back to. Your body can't, do certain things after a while. Okay? Well, me and Elder Bond was speaking this weekend. You gotta have some flex, in your regimen. Whatever regimen you want, you gotta have some flex, so you won't be so offensive, when you're around, brothers, new brothers coming in, and, other brothers come in town to visit. You want to be flexible, man, So this is Ecclesiastes 7:16. It says, "Be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself?" Yeah, man. So trying to be, okay, have this, this perfect, undefiled diet in America, man, you'll destroy yourself, man. And we just speaking on diet, but in anything, man, you can be so over righteous, okay, to the point that you're a hindrance to yourself, And I've done things, man. I've been, on the over righteous tip, okay. But the law isn't made, to put us in a bind or a predicament. Okay? That's how you know when you're getting into the area of over righteousness, is when you trying to be righteous, okay, push you in an unnecessary bind. Okay? So we don't want to have that over righteous, overbearing spirit, to where we're just overcritical in everything. Okay? Some brothers, they gonna watch more sports than other brothers. Some brothers not into sports. Okay? Some brothers like to be out in nature. Some brothers don't be out in nature. Okay? Some brothers listen to classical music. Okay? Some brothers might listen to blues. At the end of the day, that's just their brother personality. Okay? And you don't want to be over righteous. He's listening to the brother listening to Bobby Womack, and you going into the biography of the nigga, how he wicked, and which we talk about things, don't get it twisted. We discuss these things, but it shouldn't be a heated argument, okay? Because everything is defiled here. All the musicians, all right, as you can see, the artists, all of them are defiled, okay? In this society, most of the food is defiled. Like I said, we elevate as we grow in this thing, and we elevate, but every brother in their own time. Okay? Verse 17, it says, "Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish." Yeah, so with not being over righteous, you don't want to be foolish. Okay? There's no way, all right, which we can all agree that you should be eating some goddamn McDonald's, man. So don't be foolish. Okay? Drinking, 3-4 Red Bulls a day. You know what I'm saying? Don't be foolish. You see? I said we all got, particular things. All right? And you can't be over righteous, but don't be foolish neither. It's a balance. Okay? And we all should be growing. Okay? And it says, "Why shouldst thou die before thy time?" Because just being reckless, you know, with your diet or being reckless. You know, you listen to trap music all day, every day, first thing in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to, you know, destroy yourself. You see, like those things do have an effect. Okay, but there's a balance to everything. So, going back to the book of Romans, the 14th chapter. All right, Romans 14 and 4. All right, it says, "Who art thou that thou judges another man's servants? To his own master he standeth or faileth, yeah, he shall be holding up, for the Most High is able to make him stand." Yeah, so as long as that brother is fulfilling his lot, you know, within Yahweh Bashim outside, within the ministry, okay, those little minuscule things that, you know, differences of perspectives, okay, those things don't matter. You know, we're not here to be overcritical, okay, or criticize everything that someone does that we don't agree with, that we don't personally agree with. You know, as long as he's not being wicked according to the scriptures, you know, being slothful as far as his office, his lot, okay. All those other things, hey, they're just that brother's personal preference, man. You know, because it ain't meant for a brother to be a clone of us, man. Nah, every brother is growing in Yahushua, and within that, each brother still has their own personality. They're their own version of Yahushua. Okay? Verse 5 says, "One man esteeming one day above another, and other esteeming every day alike. Let every man be fully persuaded in his own mind." Yeah, because, you know, we keep the Passover, you know, the Day of Atonement, which those are very spiritual, high holy days, man. Okay? But then you have some brothers, you know, they get into the Feast of Weeks. You know? They might get into the Feast of Dedications. You know? Different high holy days. And you see? Some brothers are able to take off on the Sabbath. Some brothers not. Okay? But at the end of the day, all right, as long as we're have repented, you know, we're constantly repenting, making adjustments and getting better. Okay, we're not to hold it just because this brother only keeps the Passover and Day of Atonement, and you know, you might keep 4 or 5 high holy days to the best of your ability. You know, you shouldn't look down on that brother. All right, and that brother can't look at him as the brother that's keeping more of the high holy days. He can't look at him as if he's doing too much. You know, they're just in his spirit to do that. Okay, verse 6, it says, "He that regarded," I read this in NLT, said, "Those who worship the Lord on a special day do it to honor him. Those who eat any kind of food do so to honor the Lord, since they give thanks to the Most High before eating. And those who refuse to eat certain foods also want to please the Lord and give thanks to the Most High." So it's all about, you know, whatever works, all right, for us to be the best servant we can be. Okay? Some brothers drink more than others. Some brothers don't drink at all. Okay? Some brothers, you know, got certain careers and jobs. Okay? You know, some brothers are more financial, you know, stable than brothers. You see, but it's all about serving Yahweh Bashim Shah. You know, there's going to be differences within the body. Okay, within the believers, there's going to be different circumstances. Okay, you know, different responsibilities. Okay, amongst the body, but it's all to serve Yahweh Bashim Shah. Okay, and that's why, as the scripture tells us, when you go to Sirach, I believe it's 37 and 27, it says, "My son, prove thy soul and thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it." So each brother, because we're learning ourselves, man. You know, as we have become, you know, born again, we're learning ourselves, man. What works and what don't. Okay? and you take away what works, and you take away what doesn't work, and we double down on what don't. I mean, so like you take away from what doesn't work. You take those things away and you double down on what does work. Okay? And that's us conforming to Yahushua. You see? Putting ourselves in a position to be profitable. Okay? And in verse 28, for all things are not profitable for all men, neither have every soul pleasure in everything. Okay? So just because brothers move a certain way and it's not your thing, that doesn't make that brother lesser. Okay? He does things a certain way. Okay? He tolerates particular things that you probably wouldn't tolerate. Well, that's how that brother moves, man. And as long as it's not affecting, his spiritual responsibilities, hey, 'cause my motto lately, hey, if you like it, I love it. Even if it's something I wouldn't do, if you like it, I love it. You see? So, going back here to Romans 14 and 7, it said, for we don't live for ourselves or die for ourselves. If we live, it is to honor the Lord. If we die, it is to honor the Lord. So whether we live or die, we belong to the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai. Because nothing we do is just based on us. Okay? We're not living, just for our own personal pleasures like we were living in the world. Our decision was made based on how we could just forward ourselves. Okay? Now we're more nation-minded. Okay? As we come back to who we are as a people, we become more nation-minded, and now we move in a way to where we benefit the overall. Okay? And that's why there has to be a level of discipline, added to all of us, man. Even though I say we have different personalities and we move different, there still has to be that common factor of discipline, as we're not living for ourselves anymore. Okay? As you read this in, what's this, 2 Timothy? Might be 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy 4 and 14, all right, like 144. It said, neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, okay, with the laying on the hands of the presbytery or the elders. Meditate upon these things, give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. And each brother in their lane, okay, becoming the best version of themselves in the spirit. It benefits everyone. Okay? And it's not going to be each brother lane is different. Each brother, how they move, how they build, gonna be different. But it's the same format, and it's based on the spirit of Yahushua. So we have to fully understand that we all are to give ourselves wholly unto these things, which is, to start to configure our life around the truth. Okay? We begin to make this truth the center, and everything else is built off of it. Each brother with their own portion. But the common thing that the truth has to be the center. And as we get closer and closer to the end, the Lord is requiring more. He's requiring for us to give more of ourselves unto the ministry more. He's requiring for us to give more of ourselves over to the ministry. Okay? And really to tap into the gifts that each brother was given. Okay? It says, take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing these thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee, man. It's true. It's a big responsibility, man. Okay? And we don't want to mishandle this thing, and we don't want to make it about us. Okay? We don't want to try to get caught up in teaching our perspective, as the one way. Nah, that's, brothers grow at different rates. Some brothers, hit the ground running. Some brothers bloom a little later. Okay? Because what did the Apostle Paul say? The Most High give the increase. Apostle Paul say he plant, Apollo's water, but the Most High give the increase. Okay? You see? So, at the end of it all, it's all about everybody being a benefit to everybody. Everybody being an asset to everybody, man. Okay? And it's going to look different. It ain't going to look the same. You see? And in this world, we get so caught up in doing things our way to where when something is not done in the way we would do it, we feel some type of way. And that's something we're growing out of. We're having to grow out of. So let's go back to Romans 14 and verse 9. It says, verse 10 says, so why do you condemn another believer? Why do you look down on another believer? Remember, we will all stand before the judgment seat of the Most High. For the scriptures say, as surely as I live, says the Lord, every knee will bend to me, and every tongue will confess and give praise to the Most High. Yes, each of us will give a personal account to the Most High, man. You see? So we can't be over concerned. All right, we don't have time to sit around and be overcritical and just watch everyone else move. Okay? Because we have to make sure we on point. The scripture say, work out our own salvation with fear and trembling. Okay? Now we oversee, we monitor each other, and this is sincerity. Okay? Not just trying to look for flaws, but if they show up, because flaws, they're going to show up. Certain shortcomings, certain things that need to be tweaked and addressed, they're going to show up. So, of course, we have a watchful eye over each other, okay? But it shouldn't be that overcritical eye, to where we think that we in this position to where we, could dictate how brothers should be moving based on what we think, based on our perspective and outlook on everything, based on what we would do. You see? Because we all will have to give an account. Okay? This life, how we live, this is, we gonna have to stand on this. Okay? we gonna have to stand on this, and as the Lord is getting ready to open up judgment, man, like, nah, we want to build a case to, hey, well, we receive mercy, man. And we know, hey, we gotta have mercy towards each other. Okay? So you read on, and it says, verse 13, it says, so let's stop condemning each other. Instead, decide to live in such a way that you will not cause another believer to stumble, man, being an example. And we have to watch ourselves where we're not offensive. Speak to myself, first and foremost. Okay? We gotta, make sure that we're not being offensive, have this snappy attitude, to where, we got this intense, we're always intense, and, brother asks a sincere question, and, we handle them rough, what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna have some brothers, this spirit gonna be more austere, they're gonna be more forward by nature, It's just the being mindful, okay, not to just be brother that's always condemning, speaking from a position of what someone else should do, what need to be doing. Okay? I say there's correction to go out. There's, I say we monitor each other and watch over each other. Okay? And if there's something that needs to be addressed, we address these things, man. Okay? But we don't want to, make ourselves the accuser of the brethren, for every little thing. Okay? But just make sure that we're being an example that's worthy to be followed. Moving from that perspective. All right? Verse 14, it says, I know and am persuaded by the Lord Yahushua that there is nothing unclean of itself, but to him that esteemeth anything to be unclean, to him it is unclean. Okay? And it's speaking of the different foods. That's the lawful foods. Okay? Because the animals ain't wicked. Okay? The lawful animals that are, and no animal at all is wicked. Okay? But there's just certain things that are meant to be eaten and not. The pig ain't wicked. All right? People are wicked for eating it. Okay? But the pig itself ain't wicked. Okay? So the foods that are lawful, they're not wicked. You're in a society where they're just offered to idols. The meats we get today, all these things are offered. Majority of them are offered to idols. Okay? But the food itself ain't wicked. So a brother eating, a piece of chicken, all right, from a little chicken shack, you see, they'll make that brother wicked because the bird itself, the chicken itself is not wicked. It's just, the wickedness of this society. Okay, and the things that they do. You see, it said, but if thy brother be grieved with thy meat, now walkest thou not charitably, destroy not him with thy meat, for whom Yahushua died. And that's basically, okay, going back to, being considerate. Okay, just being considerate around one another. We learn each other's weaknesses. Okay, understand, each other's vulnerability. We be considerate. You see, if you have a cookout, you do something for brother. Okay, brothers cooking. You gotta consider the brothers that they don't eat meat. Have some things that they can eat. Okay. All right, it's brothers that don't eat meat. And all you got is meat. Like, come on, we gotta be considerate. You try to accommodate brothers as best as possible. And they're just considering one another. All right, verse 16 said, let not then your good be evil spoken of, for the kingdom of the Most High is not meat and drink, but righteousness and peace and joy in the Holy Spirit. So we shouldn't, there shouldn't be divisions amongst, the camp based on, certain foods. Nah, man, that ain't. All right, the kingdom is based on love for one another, man. Love for Yahweh Shem outside. Okay, and those things like food, they're gonna work itself out because the earth is going to be cleansed. Okay, the animals, the water. Okay, the vegetation, the crops, everything is going to be cleansed and purified, man. Okay, so we do the best we can within this situation, man. Okay, and it says, for he that in these things serveth Yahushua is acceptable to the Most High and approved of men. Okay, if I read this in the NLT, it says, if you serve Yahushua with this attitude, you will please the Most High, and others will approve of you too. Yeah, being balanced. Because no one wants that. Nobody likes that overcritical, unbalanced. It's only one way to do things. Okay? If you do it outside my way, you know what I'm saying, you're off. My way is superior. How I eat is superior. You know, how I think about things is superior. You don't want to have that spirit, man. No one want to be around your ass, man. Okay? You see? Verse 19 it says, so then let us aim for harmony, all right, in the church and try to build each other up. Don't tear apart the work of the Most High over what you eat. Remember, all foods, all lawful foods are acceptable, but it was wrong to eat something, all right, if it makes another person stumble. It is better not to eat meat or drink wine or do anything else if it might cause another believer to stumble. You may believe there's nothing wrong with what you are doing, but keep it between yourself and the Most High. Blessed are those who don't feel guilty for doing something they have decided is right. Yeah, so, you know, and there's certain brothers, okay, that you just don't do things around that those brothers, you know, are offended by. Those brothers, you know, you see, especially newer brothers, man, there's certain things that if they're fresh coming out of the world would be beneficial to them. You see? So just having that awareness and always being mindful, you know, because you gotta think, as brothers, they're like newborn, you know, newborn babes in this thing. They're very impressionable, you know, and there's certain things that, you know, if we get more and more seasoned in this thing, that we can partake in and be good, and they can partake in and destroy them, you know. You know, being drunk out of our mind, you know. Gotta be mindful, man. Alright? You know, chasing Eve, you know. Talk about Eve all day at camp, and after camp, you know what I'm saying? Chasing Eve over the city, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta be mindful how we move, especially around, you know, particular brothers. Okay? And it says, but if you have doubts, okay, verse 23 it says, and he that doubted is damned if he eat, because he eateth not of faith, for whatsoever is not of faith is sin. You know, so if there's something, you know, because some brothers, you know, they go to their family house on certain holidays, Thanksgiving, and go get a plate. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with it, you know, and they're not condemned by going over there. Okay? And certain brothers that don't want to be around it. Okay? They don't want to partake. Okay? They don't want to be around, you know, the festivities or whatever. You see, and they be condemned by going over there. So, you know, if you're condemned, you know, you don't have to do it. You know, that's your spirit, you know. And if a brother does it, he's not condemned. If he go over there and eat some lawful food, okay, on one of these wicked, you know, holidays, you know, and they go by, you know, it's some brothers, that's the only time they have off. Okay? Some brothers, they schedule a little more flexible, they got a little more freedom. Okay? But at the end of the day, if it condemns you, don't do it. Okay? if it condemns you, don't do it. Alright? And if a brother does something that's not unlawful, you know, that condemns you, you know, you shouldn't create this grudge in your head for this brother. Okay? Because at the end of the day, you know, we're all serving the same Lord. Okay? So, just want to put that out there, you know, Romans 14 chapter. Like I say, Apostle Paul was really, you know, touching on, you know, the etiquette, you know, amongst the church. You know, because you had, you know, certain members that stopped eating food because they eating meat because they understood, you know, that it was a leftover, you know, sacrifices to the idols. And you had some, they didn't stop eating the meats. So he just going into the camp etiquette, being overcritical and being over judgmental. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters edified once again, and give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great example to us younger brothers. Peace.